Indeed we have. We found Mr. Hosana, who is sitting atop his favorite termite mound at Twin Dams, and I think it's his tracks that we found all the way back on the other side, because they were going up and down. There's also tracks for shadow and cub as well in that area, and so luckily enough we've managed to find him sitting on top of the mound, which is very, very nice as well. Now I want to just try and see if I can reposition slightly Ferg, because otherwise we're going to get his bum, and he's got lots of impalas around that he's been busy watching. But let's try and see if we go around, we might get a really nice view of his face from the other side, which is always quite nice. So we literally just bumped into him about 2 seconds ago, and like I said, we saw tracks going in and out around Shabamu, and they were telling me that Hosana was coming this way yesterday afternoon. So I thought, well, let's do the fire break, and we picked up then the tracks of Shadow and Cub also coming over, and him kind of going back and forth over the fire break, which is a typical Hosana plot and ploy. He kind of likes to walk like that. He kind of weaves his way over roads, and so we then just followed them all the way down and then got here towards Twin Dams, and well, another leopard. Exciting stuff. Ferg, well done. Ferg was the one that actually spotted him on the mound, so Ferg definitely gets the first prize. Let's see, Ferg, how is this? This looks like it might win for us. Yes, stormy sky, beautiful male leopard. It's not quite the same as his whole body, but I just like the fact that he's facing this way, and so it's quite nice just to see his head and his silhouette against the dark, stormy, gloomy morning that we've got. But it seems as though Hosana is going to start sleeping now, because, well, he's first perked himself up so that we could find him, and then now it's going to be time to have a bit of a nap. Oh boy, has it been a long night. I believe he's been all over the place. Apparently he spent the vast majority of his day yesterday quite close to Little Gowrie camp, and was chasing things around there, and then he's now decided to come up this way and just pay us a little visit and just show us that he's doing just fine. And what amazes me with this leopard is, I've just seen him now standing up, is that he is getting absolutely massive. He's seriously in great condition, and he's a big, big boy. He's starting to kind of get that dewlap now, and he's really bulking up, and so it's impressive to see him. I don't see him nearly as often as we would like or that we would want, and yet when you do see him, you kind of get floored by how big he is. Stubby, you say you haven't seen a Hosana in a while, but he's still looking fantastic. Well, I'm not sure when the last time we saw Hosana was. I don't know. Maybe one of you can let me know. It must have been, I certainly haven't seen him since I've been back from leave, and he hasn't been around. But I don't think it was all that long ago, but he is looking fantastic. He is such a beautiful specimen, and he's a cat that is, you know, obviously got a very special place in everybody's heart, given the circumstances around his sort of initial survival and how he kind of came to be in this area. But it is amazing to kind of see how well he's done. You know, he's gone off on his own and in a male-filled environment with in the likes of quarantine and Tingana and all of these things. The fact that he's in the condition that he's in is pretty spectacular. Now, it's a pity that there's just this one tree that's in the way at the moment, because that's certainly not helping at all. Now, I believe last week Tuesday was our last sighting, so it's almost a week ago. So he is looking good. It means he's obviously feeding well and doing his thing, which is fantastic news. Now, Ferg, I'm not sure we're in the right spot here, because this tree is definitely not in the area we need it to be. So as much as it's nice to see his eye, I think I've just got a little gap here that I think might be even better. Just hold on. Just got to try and find a way through it. Let me just get into this area here. Ladybird, you're wondering how he got that notch in his ear. Well, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. He probably was playing around with Shongile or Karula, and unfortunately managed to get himself a little nick on the face, or on the ear, should I say. So that's probably where it came from, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It's part of being a leopard. What is that like? That's probably better, hey, Ferg? Yes, that's much nicer. Not as bright sky behind as well. The sun is coming from the other way. But it's probably from when he was still around with Karula. He's had it for a long time. As long as I've kind of spent time here at Safari Live, he's had that little notch on his ear, and so probably from Shongile or Karula when they were playing, a little nick, or even a branch when they were going up and down trees. You find as little cubs, sometimes they fall a little bit, and then a branch or a thorn like a buffalo thorn or a knob thorn just hooks in and just rips the little tip of the ear, and that's when you get those little notches on them. But he has had it for quite some time. It's one of the IDing features of little Hosana. But he is not so little anymore. I can't call him little anymore. He might be one of our young boys, but he's definitely not small. So GDH, you say maybe Hosana has come just to check out what's going on and to check out when the TV rehearsal and shows are, just to make sure that he's in prime condition and fit and ready and to make an appearance. Well, hopefully that is the case, GDH. It would be absolutely wonderful if little Hosana came and was part of the TV shows. He's such an incredible cat, and not only is he a beautiful cat, but he has got so much about him in terms of the way that he goes about his business. He's curious, he often is doing all kinds of fun things, and so he's great entertainment, and that's why it'll be really nice if he does make a TV appearance. He seems to like the TV because he was a big part of the TV shows last January, so hopefully we'll get a repeat performance from our young man. Right, while he hides his face away and makes it a little bit difficult for Ferg to film his eyes, let's send you all the way back to the Masai Mara and Taylor McCurdy with a big pachyderm roadblock. We are still with Hosana, and he is ever so beautiful. He's been sitting regally and was posing, and then now he's decided to turn his face away, unfortunately, but he'll hopefully turn back at us and have a little look at us. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that just spectacular? Look how broad his shoulders have gotten, and his neck. He is looking absolutely beautiful at the moment. He really is looking in good condition. And so he woke up because of some impalas that went away, but they've kind of run south, unfortunately, back into Little Gari. But it is that time of the day where we start having to head back for breakfast. It's been an absolutely wonderful morning. There's been so much from the Mara and from Djuma that it's really difficult to recap on all of it. But at least Hosana has been a wonderful way to finish, and combined with Tundi and Cub and the Nkuhumas and the male leopard in Mara, it's just been the most spectacular morning, that's for sure. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and hopefully all of you enjoyed it too. So from myself and all the other presenters this morning, and Louise and FC, we'll see